Have you ever wondered? That man painting so peacefully on screen, with his curly hair, his warm smile, and his calm voice, almost like a dear friend visiting your living room, Bob Ross. But do we really know him? Or do we only know the gentle, serene man we see on television? This story will reveal the mysterious side of Bob Ross that few people know, and by the end of this video, you may never look at him the same way again. Picture this. You're alone in a room. You hold a warm cup of coffee as the rain softly taps against the window. You turn on the TV, and that familiar voice greets you. "Hi, I'm Bob Ross." A brush, a palette, a bit of paint. Within minutes, a tree appears, then a lake, a mountain, a small cabin, and suddenly you find yourself transported somewhere entirely different. But then, something strikes you. Haven't you seen this scene before? That tree, that lake, that mountain? Is it always the same place? And in your mind, a question begins to take shape. Was Bob Ross colorblind? Rumors floating around the internet suggest maybe he was. Maybe that's why he always used the same tones, painted the same landscapes. But the truth is something very different. Bob Ross joined the U.S. Air Force at age 18 and served for a full 20 years, stationed at Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska, rising to the rank of Master Sergeant. Discipline, orders, strictness. A large part of his life was spent in a gray, rigid world. And then, one day, he picked up his brush and decided to create his own inner world. Those paintings weren't just landscapes. They were Bob Ross's escape from military life, from commands, from hardness. In his own words, "Throughout my military life, I was always required to yell at people, give orders, and I promised myself I would never raise my voice again." Bob Ross wasn't colorblind. On the contrary, he was a master of colors. For him, colors weren't just tones. They were feelings, emotions, gateways to escape. So why did he always paint the same kinds of scenes? Why in every episode was there a tree, a lake, a little cabin? Because Bob Ross chose to take us on the same journey every time, a journey of peace, calm, and inner happiness. And now we come to an important point. Bob Ross created hundreds of paintings, but he did not personally sell them for commercial gain. His goal was never to make money through selling paintings. But that doesn't mean his works were never sold. Over time, some of his paintings changed hands through various means. And today, you can find Bob Ross pieces in private collections and museums. However, making money in the art market was never his purpose. Most of his income came through his brand, paint sets, brushes, instructional materials, and his television program. Perhaps this is why, even today, millions remember him not just as a painter, but as a kind of spiritual teacher. In every episode, a tree, a lake, a mountain. But truly, each painting carried a message. Life isn't complicated. There are no mistakes, only happy little accidents. Bob Ross wasn't painting the same picture over and over, he was delivering the same message over and over. Slow down, breathe, be calm. You can create, you can be happy. Now I leave you with a question. Next time you watch a Bob Ross video, don't just look at the brush strokes. Listen to his voice, feel his words, and ask yourself, what was Bob Ross really trying to show us? Maybe the answer isn't just in his paintings, but in the quiet mystery that lingers behind them. And one day, maybe you'll find your own answer. There are no mistakes, only happy little accidents.